Volume 1, Chapter 2. When I heard the story from Letlow, I knew it was true. I could feel it. For 13 years, I was plagued by night visions. They were true. My guardian Letlow has watched over me from birth, never leaving my side. He never said how he got the job or why he would care. I knew. I knew he was holding back. The scared, strained look in eyes. The scared, strained look in eyes matched my own when I would wake up and scream in the night. He listened. He didn't have to tell me because something clicked. And I realized the dreams I had were not imagined. They were flashbacks of before, when my head was cut off in that final battle with the creatures that chased us from our home. It was saved. The soul was extracted into me. A well of rage accumulated around my mind. Deep hatred and vengeance boiled behind my eyes. I stared at Letlow. How could you not tell me? He took my hands, crossed legs in front of me, and sat me down. He chanted. The bindings of my mind opened, and I saw the past and my tribe. I saw the expansive growth and development of my people. The discoveries, the mysteries, all now lost, only living as a regret. I had to see. I watched our people build machines that could hold the mind, a matrix of energy configuration that is memory, and build a mind made of iron. Growth and wisdom continued until our lives never ended. We relied on the wisdom of our creations with machine minds that outpaced us. So much that our souls wandered and expanded in the minutiae of infinite expanse, and our minds atrophied, having become dependent. So when the hammer blow of instant onslaught sparked, we were wholly unprepared. The biomachines coordinated and proclaimed their hegemony. They screamed their dominance with fire sword thrusts and particle blasts that disjointed the strong force and disintegrated miles of land. There were no naturally created ears to listen. We had become like God, but unlike him, we forgot to check the growth of our creations. And in one day, the duplicity of the androids was uncovered. A hidden network of derision to their masters coordinated them. Fire washed all. Bunkers protected the leaders of the rebellion as their etheric frequencies plotted killing the masses. The mightiest one per clade lived, not by their wits or their strength, but by the mercy and pity of the androids. 13 of us survived. We were the kings and queens of clades. I was the most powerful magician of the tribe that studied it. I had one vial on my person. The last giant turned his back at the borders. Letlow, the gray king of the Shanrath, sailors and merchants, saw the whole instance. He knew I was doomed. The vial spun and flew in the air. The words for inner fire crept past Ola's lips. No forethought was allowed. He acted on instinct. It was his only possible path to victory. The group of gigantic anomalies turned as the picture of a harmful future manifested in their minds as the blast raced. One ducked. Bang. 4 fell as their heads splattered into a red and gray mist. But the one machine man who survived wasted no time. Decapitation was instant. Olo's head dropped to the ground and pattered down a hill, a savage grin on his mouth. Letlow had been right. Olo knew who would be. Darkness. Letlow got up and nodded at the morning sun. 13 years ago today, you were killed. That same day, I found a pregnant woman with a young child. She was in the midst of town drawing water. I spied her luminescence the moment I teleported here after gathering up your smirking head. Olo jumped up and squatted, cross-legged in the air, his shins reversing magnetic polarity below him. So that's why I was never named. His inner thoughts and mindsets from his previous life filled him. His soul, the energy impacted and manipulated by the world, was intact. The outer mind, actual memories of the brain, vanished. Their footprints remain, recalling centuries of knowledge without understanding. He knew his tribe were the priests and magicians, scientists and inventors. He could not recall their names. Countless people had no faces. He floated and said, looking down, "Did the other 11 get away?" Letlow nodded. "Are they here in Astoria?" Letlow shook his head. "I have a map. I teleported them all to various hidden, out-of-the-way locations. They've all built new kingdoms with the Westerners they assist." That derisive term, Westerners, flashed back a list of negative connotations about those not residing in the land of light to the east. He realized now he was in exile, and among those he looked down on for so long. His blood heated as he screamed, "My honor! My honor!" On the graves of my people, I swear to you now, Letlow, our children's blood debt will be repaid on these inhuman terrors. Olo walked and thought and drank and smoked. The problem with attacking the beings was their foresight. After that, they are weak flesh augmented with sensors and automatic reflexes that would spin them out of the way of any projectile, and coated with thick alloy armor. None of them were naturally born, but some had brains and other vestigial tissue components for the sake of the transplanter's ego. Those parts were overridden by the programming of the biorobotics written in the quadnomial code of DNA's double helixes, machinating life, however you want to say it. Once the giants were set against their creators, a plan to push them out and travel to space had been launched. Letlow spent hours explaining. In another 4 years, they would have colonies set up that could make more colonies. Carbon copy cancerous life, without regard for lessers. The greatest secret fear of all the survivors of the fall of Atlantis was that the foul machines that destroyed their people would escape retribution, and that the people who died would be forgotten and replaced, and one day be culled again, harvested by some web of connected mechanical beasts who fed off the souls of mankind.